Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, June 30th, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The ruling by Justice Esco Henry on the election petitions in the High Court today in Kingstown had members and supporters of the opposition New Democratic Party, the NDP, in celebratory mood, as she advised that the petitions will be heard on merit. In her deliberation, Justice Esco also highlighted that the sureties were insufficient and ordered the petitioners, both candidates for NDP nominees, Lauren Shearer Batiste for North Windward and Benjamin Exit of Central Leeward, to pay $5,000 each before Friday, the 7th of July, 2017. She also ruled that the matter was not insignificant and that the case to hear the petitions must be filed before the 31st of July, 2017. Lawyer Richard Williams for the respondents was in attendance, but quickly left the courthouse building before our news team was able to get a comment. The lead lawyer for the respondents, Queen's Counsel Anthony Estefan, was also not present in court today. Walking out to chairs was head of the legal team for the petitioners, Queen's Counsel Stanley Starkey John. John said he was pleased by the ruling and they will meet all the requirements as Justice Henry set out in her deliberation.
Well, we were always confident in the petitioner's case. We, in response to their attempt to have the petition strike out, set up 6 firewalls jurisprudentially. And the judge went on us on the first one. She didn't have to go to the other 5. So that tells you, that gives an impression of what the situation, I should imagine.
So you have certain legal procedures that you have to follow through on, certain deadlines. Tell us about these.
One of the findings of the judge is that the recognizances were not invalid, but the security given under the recognizances was insufficient. So she is ordered that that should be made good by deposit of a sum of $5,000.
John said the attempts to frustrate the legal process in the petitions have failed, and he is pleased that the irregularities relating to the December 9th, 2015 general elections will be heard in court. The Queen's Counsel said that the win in the case upholds the integrity of the Constitution of SVG.
I think that regardless of one's political preferences, party political preferences, that all right-thinking Vincentians are of the view that the irregularities which have been identified by photographic evidence and otherwise in relation to the ballots that were used in the election ought to be examined and the court make a determination, because it goes to the heart of our democracy. So this isn't simply a matter of party politics. It is a matter of the integrity of our Constitution and our democratic way of life in St. Vincent. That is what has motivated my identifying with this matter. It is the public interest. It is not a party interest. And I think that all right-thinking Vincentians should be pleased today with the outcome of this attempt at frustrating the efforts in revealing the improprieties as regard the ballots that were used in the elections.
Leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, Dr. Godwin Friday, said he is quite happy with the ruling, describing it as a moment of rejoicing after weeping. Dr. Friday, who was speaking in front of a gathering at the NDP headquarters after making a lap around the streets of Kingstown following the ruling, said he was pleased that Justice Henry said that the petitions will be heard on merit. The opposition leader said the ruling also vindicates the courage of the people and the Constitution of SVG.
Judgment is a win for all Vincentians. It is a judgment in favor of democracy and the spirit of our people. The petitions will be heard on their merits. That's what we always wanted. This is good for our democracy. This is good for good governance in our country. But most importantly, It is good for our own value of ourselves as a people. Moreover, it vindicates the courage and the commitment that Mr. Eustace showed when he started these petitions so many months ago. Don't forget, he started them.
Expressing gratitude to his legal team and the people of this country, one of the petitioners, the NDP candidate for Central Leeward in the December 2015 general election, Benjamin Exeter, said he and the NDP team will continue to fight for the people of this country.
We went before the court here in St. Vincent a few months ago. They said no, they threw it out. We couldn't get justice here. We went to St. Lucia. The same team will be victorious. We came back to St. Vincent now with a fair judge. What if a fair judge, which they cannot line the pockets with, we will be victorious. We proved it once, we proved it twice. 3 times, my people, is a charm. We will do it again and again as long as we have to. You know why? Because we will fight. I promised you after the last election that I will not cower, I will not hide. I'm here to fight for you. This is not about me. And I'm here today to tell that tale.
The other petitioner who contested the North Windward seat for the NDP, Lawrence Shearer Batiste, said the people of SVG must realize the voting power lies with them.
We go through the court, but the time will come when you, the people, will be the judge and jury. Because you are the most powerful people in this country. It's not the politicians, but you, the people. The power lies with you. And anywhere you want this country to go, that is the direction in which it will go. Today, I stand proud on this platform of the New Democratic Party, because I know that this party is the only party of hope in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for you people.
And many of the persons who were at the courthouse today to hear the ruling on the petitions say they are happy that the matter will go forward in the court.
Victory is about, I was waiting for it a long time, and now is the time for it. Now it's time for it! Mr. Exeter, we got it! We got it, Mr. Exeter! My family? Yes! What a victory for democracy today. What a victory for democracy. Second time for the week. The court is saying they are abusing the process. Second time for the week.
All the vilification, the everything else, I have no time for it. I have no time for cowering. All I wanted to do is to help get these petitions heard. And today, not just me, all of us who stood at the front line, the names I can't bring here, but we need to demand free and fair elections in St. Vincent, and this is just a start.
The God praise, we worked hard, we have been vindicated. The Lord had said, stand firm and see the work of the Lord, and we have been vindicated.
What we want now is for the petitions to be heard, and we go forward, general elections and fix the economy.
SVGTV News reached out to lead lawyer for the respondents, Queen's Counsel Anthony Astafan, for his response to today's ruling. He says they will now study the ruling and decide as to the way forward. The Public Service Union's case against the Public Service Commission is not a personal attack against anyone, but about ensuring that the public service regulations are followed, particularly in relation to the promotion of public officers. That's according to President of the PSU, Elroy Boucher, as he spoke with SVGTV News earlier today in relation to an article written by retired Assistant Chief Immigration Officer Hermestine Burke, who questioned the merits of the PSU's case, as well as why she was singled out by the PSU's president at its recently held media conference. Addressing the issue raised by Mrs. Burke in relation to a precedent at the Immigration Department, where 2 previous Assistant Chief Immigration Officers who were not immigration officers were given the position, Boucher stated that the relevant authorities did not follow the regulations, noting that their case is not a personal attack on anyone.
If he fails to do that, then he ought to put an explanation in writing to Service Commission's board. If he goes outside of the ministry to fill the position, then ought to be advertised. That is clear in the regulations. It ought to be advertised. It must be advertised once you're going outside of the ministry, fill the position. You have a responsibility to advertise the post. She came from the Ministry of Education, so the post was never advertised. So whether it is her or anybody who came before her, the practice is unfair and wrong. It violates, in our view, the regulations. It doesn't matter how many of them would have filled the post. And Ms. Burke actually failed to look at it through those particular lenses. It is through the lens of fairness and through the lens of equal opportunity that the Public Service Union is looking at this, not the personal.
Boucher stated that whilst he recognizes that public officers are not responsible for their own transfers and promotions, he noted that Mrs. Burke's husband was the chief personnel officer at Service Commissions at the time of her transfer to the Immigration Department, a situation which points to nepotism.
In the regulations, at one point, it says that the chief personnel officer can make a recommendation to the Service Commission Board. If he, at that particular time, her husband, based on the regulations, can make a recommendation, and the wife is up for a promotion, even though it is not being advertised, in violation of the regulation, then it smells of nepotism. He should have, I don't know if he did, recuse himself. It is ethical, it is the ethical thing to really do. So, in that regard, that's how we responded to her. It's not about her, it's about the more important issue of fairness and equal opportunity and transparency and the rule of law as it regards Constitution and the Public Service Regulation.
Responding to another comment made by Mrs. Burke in her open letter, where she stated that she was both qualified for the position as well as showed a great level of productivity whilst on the job as Assistant Chief Immigration Officer. Boucher said immigration officers continue to do excellent work, with many within the department having both the qualification and experience to fill the same position, but however don't get the opportunity to do so, a situation which he termed as unfair.
In terms of qualification, there are immigration officers there who are more than qualified. They have been there 18 to 20 years. Even some of them are still immigration officers 3. Seniors and 3, more than qualified. They are the ones who have been doing the hard work for many, many years, before the delinking and after the delinking. Immigration was run quite professionally and productively before those times, and it was the same police officers who are now immigration officers, even the new ones who came in from outside of police. They have been doing a marvelous job. To argue about her qualification, and she only spent 7 years there, and if she said she had 30 years in the service, the other 23 was spent where, and why wasn't she promoted to a higher grade during those 23 years? You understand? So her claim really, again, goes back to the salient argument of public service regulations and whether it was followed in the truest sense of form.
SVG-TV News reached out to Mrs. Burke for an interview on the matter, but she declined. The Police Cooperative Credit Union hosted its 14th annual general meeting yesterday, Thursday, June 29th, deeming the event as a momentous occasion, especially since it marked the first time that a general meeting was being held in the PCCU's owned complex. President of the PCCU, Junior Simmons, said despite numerous challenges, the credit union has done commendably well for the 2016 financial year, obtaining $10 million in assets for the first time.
I am pleased to report that our assets have moved from $7.5 million in 2015 to $13.3 million in 2016, an increase of 78%. This is commendable and augurs well for the financial viability of the Police Credit Union. Moreover, our membership has increased by 17% to 2,205 persons in 2016 compared to 1,891 in 2015. There are also significant increases in our loans portfolio, members' regular deposits, members' redeemable shares, and share capital, among others.
Noting that attempts were made to diversify the PCCU's investment portfolio, Simmons applauded the efforts and support of all members, partners, staff, and executives as the PCCU continues to grow both financially and in membership.
Due to the very low returns on cash held at the banks, the board took the decision to invest in 91 days treasury bills on the regional government securities market. And I wish to report that we have been receiving a slightly higher return on our investment. The duty is therefore ours to ensure that it continues in that direction. Let us not sit back and say we have arrived. That would not be the right mindset. Instead, we should seek to consolidate and sustain the achievements we have made over the past year and try to improve on them in the coming years. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I wish to applaud the management and staff of the PCCU for their hard work and dedication over the past year. I also encourage you to continue to improve on your performance and always strive to deliver the best quality service to our members. I urge us all to continue to pursue our vision, one step at a time. And one day, we'll fully realize it.
Vincentians were earlier today exposed to a number of crime prevention tips and measures, which, according to members of the RSVG police force, should play a major role in how they protect themselves and their property. This as the RSVG-PF held its annual crime prevention exhibition under the theme, Be Security Smart, Prepare, Prevent, Protect. We hear more in this report by Nikita Tony.
As they continue their efforts to sensitize the Vincentian public on crime prevention tips, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force hosted a crime prevention exhibition right here in front of the police barracks today, Friday, June 30th. The annual crime prevention exhibition by the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, according to Corporal C.N. Choi, is one of their initiatives to further sensitize Vincentians and visitors alike of safety measures they must keep in mind to ensure their safety.
Today only, and hopefully for the Christmas we'll have another exhibition to showcase what is here. There are various stalls and business houses that have partnered with us. This year we aim on being security smart is because of what is happening throughout in traditional and cyber crime. And you know, when it's come to computer, a lot of identity theft and internet fraud is being happening. Check your property this carnival season. When you're leaving home, inform a friend, your neighbor. Make sure you leave your lights on when leaving your home and secure your doors and windows. Parking in Kingston during this season, make sure you park in a well-lit areas, an area that are designated for parking.
Corporal Choi further encouraged persons to always be security smart, as well as to continue to support the RSVG Police Force in their efforts to ensure a safe, crime-free St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
During this time, we are urging all Vincentian and visitors alike to be cautious this carnival season. Walk in groups and company. Outside of Kingston, any difficulties, just contact various police stations and contact the central police station at phone number 457-1211 or 4561810.
Today's exhibition featured displays by various departments of the RSVG Police Force as they interacted with members of the public on ways they can ensure their own safety.
Tips to secure your home, secure your person, and how to carry about yourself in and around Kingston around Carnival season and also during the Christmas season. We have some brochures here where we have how to carry your handbags, some of this stuff you should do, what to look out for when you're at the ATM machines, how you should carry your monies. Don't wear excessive jewelry because you know they have the chain snatchers around.
Number of illicit drugs that are available to persons in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All these drugs are Class A drugs, which normally speeds up the heart rate. They result in chronic diseases such as lung cancer, heart disease. Just urging persons to stay away from drugs. It's not good. The effects is a long-term effect, and the recovery is a long run.
The notes have been counterfeit, but normally vendors look at just $50 and $100 notes, encouraging them to always check their notes before you push them in the bag. Before you push them in, whatsoever you secure your money in, check all the watermark, which is colloquially we'll say the Queen's Head. Once you look at the Queen's Head in that direction, you'll be seeing it looking at you. Also, if you look at it on the other direction.
There were also showcases by various stakeholders featuring products which they offer and which persons can use to secure their property. Held under the theme Be Security Smart, Prepare, Prevent and Protect, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force is urging all Vincentians and visitors alike to exercise caution this carnival season and more so all year round. Reporting for SVG-TV News, I am Nikita Tony.
As they continue to minister to the people of SVG and within the region, the remnants of Gideon Drama Group, which is a branch of the Exalt Hymn Ministries, will this weekend host their second independent drama production at the Peace Memorial Hall, dubbed The Other Woman. One of the group's actors, Kesley Cambridge, said the production serves as a form of fundraising activity for the group to carry out its mission.
It's going to be epic, and if it's one thing we need to reiterate that, you know, it's about issues that happen to everyone.
Everyday thing.
You know, everyday things. So
must relate to it.
You can relate to it, and we have always kept God in our production. So you know, we have the biblical aspect to it as well. That is going to be taking place at Peace Memorial Hall, June 30th, July 1st, and July 2nd. As I said, bring out the entire family. Sit back, relax, enjoy. If you miss it, blame yourself.
Noting that it is always a challenge to find sponsors, especially being a Christian entity, Cambridge expressed gratitude to all supporters and sponsors of the group.
Drama group, a Christian drama group. Yeah. You know, it's a bit difficult, but we thank God nevertheless for the sponsors. And, you know, it's not too late to give a little sponsor, so shout out to any possible sponsors out there. Now, the aim of our drama production is basically for missions, fundraising venture, where we do our missions locally and regionally, and I'm guessing hopefully soonly internationally.
Another of the group's actors, Christopher Peters, said patrons at this weekend's event can expect a great showcase.
Ministers, so this is our ministry, and it's so wonderful that to be able to use this field to reach out to people as well, you know. Definitely. Because you do it in singing, you do it in dancing, you do it in preach word, we also do it in drama. It's a well-rounded play. You understand? We, Remnants of Gideon, we always give quality to our loyal fans, you know, and to you newcoming fans, there is something for everyone, you know. You cannot miss out on this. Everybody will be talking about it. You're going to be seeing it. But it would be a difference if you are there in person to experience the ambience, the drama, the suspense. You never know what you're going to miss, you know. I don't think you should be able to. And it's a small thing, you know. Come on, man. Support local. This is St. Vincent at its best.
Over the next few days, starting tomorrow, Saturday, July 1st, the juniors will take center stage for Junior Carnival 2017, followed by the Junior Pan Fest on Sunday, July 2nd, and the Junior Calypso and Soca competition next Tuesday. According to the Carnival Development Corporation, it is important to have everyone involved in the Vincy Mass product, and particularly in the celebration of the 40th anniversary of the June-July Mass. Nolisha Miller has more details in this report.
The juniors will have their opportunity over the next few days to display their love for Carnival. Come Saturday, July 1st, Victoria Park will come to life with colors of creativity as the CDC hosts Junior Carnival 2017. Speaking at a recently held CDC media conference, the show's coordinator Anthony Denny said 12 mass bands will be taking part in tomorrow's events.
Of course, Blondie Bird and Friends, Guinness Blondie Bird and Friends, they are the reigning band of the year champs as far as Junior Carnival is concerned, and going for the 4-in-a-row title also this year will be Blondie Bird and Friends. We will be having a mini fair, and that will be staged at the back of the park. We'll be having some mini slides, rides, the bouncing castle will be there. The children will get the opportunity to get some face painting.
On Sunday afternoon, the junior panists will have their chance to showcase their skills at the Junior Pan Fest, which Denny promises to be an exciting event.
This year we will be seeing 7 school bands participating, along with 4 community bands. And we know that there's that friendly rivalry that exists from the community standpoint. Starlight Steel Orchestra, there is quite naturally Sinal Euphonium Junior Steel Orchestra. They have been the 2 dominant junior bands over the years, but certainly we can't write off the Symphonics, who's certainly been doing an excellent job, with their young panists. And this show on Sunday, which starts at 3 p.m., promises to be very exciting, and we invite one and all to be all part of it.
Next Tuesday, July 4th, the stage will be set for the Junior Calypso and Soca competition at the Victoria Park, which promises to be another exciting event.
This is an event that I'm quite excited about. I believe about 9 or 10 of those youngsters performing. They were well received by the audience who were there. We have lots of the songs on radio, and we are engaging in some what we call the school caravan tours, where we're actually going into the schools. The kids, they're all hyped, they're really energized, and certainly cannot wait for this event to happen. But the competition is as such that we're having performances from the Grenadines. There'll be young Calypsonians from Beckway. You heard me mention Sandy Bay. We're going down to Leyu. So here we're seeing that through the young Calypsonians and the soca artists, that Kaiso definitely continues to spread its tentacles here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we certainly have a future with what we are seeing in store for 2017.
Nolisha Miller for Carnival Beats.